This is a steel trawler yacht with twin John Deere diesels, hydraulic stabilisers, and you won't find this walkthrough anywhere else, only on Yacht Boy. Thanks to Maritronics, a marine electronics manufacturer, for sponsoring this video. You'll find the link to them in the video description below. Over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you around this Dutch-built trawler yacht with a CE Category A rating, over 5,000 litres of fuel capacity, and systems designed for serious long-range, all-weather cruising. We'll look at her layout, systems access, and why this hull design matters if you're thinking about passage making. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really looking forward to taking you around this boat. I must admit she's one of my favourite trawler style yachts, and you'll see why in a minute as I show you around. She really is a fantastic boat. And before we start, I'd like to say a massive thank you to the owners for allowing me to come here and show you around this boat. It really has been a big privilege to come on board and film it, and I can't wait to hear or read what you think about this beautiful boat. Before I do show you around, please don't forget to give the video a like. Also, please don't forget to subscribe as well. I know YouTubers always talk about subscribing, but it is really important because it's one of the first things that people look at when I contact them and say, look, I'd love to feature your boat. So please do hit that subscribe button. Don't worry, your feed's not going to be full of all my videos. The algorithm will only show you the videos that I've produced that the algorithm thinks you're going to like. So please don't forget to subscribe. And also don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter as well. If you love everything trawler, explorer and expedition yacht related, then I'm pretty confident you'll enjoy my newsletter. I will leave a link in the comments and in the video description as well. And apparently about 40% of you watch my videos on a TV as well. So I'll leave a QR code up on the screen as well. So if you want to subscribe to my free newsletter, then just scan that QR code. Anyway, let me show you around this beautiful boat. I really can't wait to see what you think. As I walk along the starboard side, you start to get a sense of the volume and hull form of this boat. She's a steel multi-chine displacement trawler with a CE Category A rating, which means she's been built for extended offshore use, including transoceanic passages in up to force 8 conditions and 4-metre seas. Now, this hull shape gives you directional stability in a seaway and efficient low-speed cruising, especially when paired with her hydraulic stabilisers and full-length keel. You also would have noticed the flare in the bow and the height of the freeboard, both of which contribute to keeping green water off the decks in head seas. I mentioned earlier that she carries over 5,000 litres of diesel, specifically 5,300 litres or just under 1,400 US gallons. Okay, so let's jump on board. I'm going to show you around the upper deck first, and then we're going to go inside and I'll show you around the accommodation. As you can see, we do have a boarding gate over here on the starboard side, a really handy way of obviously getting on and getting off the boat. The other thing you'll notice as well, we do have plenty of scuppers on this boat, so if you are out motoring in the really rough stuff, the water's not going to amass on the upper deck. It's got a quick way of getting back into the sea, so straight away you can just tell that this boat has been designed and been built to go through the really gnarly stuff. Now, as we step on board the boat, obviously on the starboard side, the first thing I'm sure you'll notice is just how wide the side decks are, and we have a really high bulwark on here as well. And obviously we do have the stainless steel handrail as well that goes around the boat. So as you are walking around the boat, whether you're alongside or whether you're underway out at sea, you've got lots to hold on to. And if we look atop the coach roof, we've got another grab handle up there as well. And also from this angle, we get a really good view of that very impressive radar mast. Now, that radar mast is hydraulic, so it does actually lower, which is crucial for when you're cruising around in the inland waterways, especially in countries like the Netherlands where this boat is based. Having that retractable radar mast is really important, and considering how big that is as well, I mean, that's a heavy duty radar mast. The fact that you can lower that, I think, is a really good point about this boat, one of many boats that we'll explore as we look around. But as you can see, we've got the Ray Marine radar up there, Sat dome up there as well, and all your various aerials, and a meter right at the top there. We do have a searchlight, forward facing searchlight, and there is another one on the rear as well. And obviously, as you can see, we have a Flybridge on here. Right, let's move forward, take you all the way up to the bow. Obviously deck gear over here. We have the windlass, big thick heavy duty chain there as well for the anchor, and obviously the pipe that goes straight down to the anchor as well. So yeah, really good layout up here, minimal clutter, which is again is really good when you're working the lines, when you've got people on board helping you out as you're coming alongside. And if they're not that experienced when it comes to walking around and working the deck, they're not going to be tripping over stuff, because it's a really good clutter-free kind of layout up here. But look, as I always like to do, if I go right up to the bow and just recenter that gimbal on the camera, there we go, look, and if I just come down, you get a really good appreciation for the sheer of the boat as well. But look at that wheelhouse. You know, there's forward raking windows. The fact you've got 5 windows on there as well, it just really looks the business. And it's one of the first things I noticed about this boat when I first saw it, was just the way that the hull is configured. You can see how the superstructure is nestled into that hull, so when you are punching through those big waves, you know, you've got minimum exposure to the superstructure. But yeah, very, very nice. And obviously we do have some seating up there as well, so if you want to come and sit here. Now the helm position's on the starboard side of this boat, so if you're going to be sitting here whilst you're underway, you're probably going to be perched over here on the port side. But yeah, look at that view. The vents over there, 3 vents up here. And this hatch leads down into the forward accommodation, which is the guest accommodation on this boat, and we'll go and have a look in there in just a minute. But yeah, I think what we will do now is head down the port side deck. And again, look, as you can see, really wide side decks on here. Now, as we move aft, I just want to say, remember, if you are looking, or if you're thinking about buying a boat, selling a boat, chartering a boat, or building a boat, then make sure you reach out to me. I've built up a really good network over the last couple of years of filming hundreds of different boats. So if you are thinking about buying, selling, building, or chartering a boat, then please do get in contact with me. All right, so here we are on the stern. On a boarding gate there, amidships. As you see, the chocks there for the tender. Now, this tender isn't the boat's main tender. This is a temporary one. The actual main tender is in a workshop at the moment, but you can see when it is on board, it sits very snug in between those chocks as well. If you're wondering what is underneath this hatch, then this is how we get to the steering gear on board the boat. It is twin engines, so you do have 2 rudders on board. But yeah, if you need to get access into the steering gear compartment, then you just lift up that hatch. And obviously we've got some more storage over there on the starboard side and over there on the port side as well. Again, a great place to sit when you're enjoying the view and enjoying the weather. And we have been blessed today with a sunny day. Normally when I come here, the rain normally follows me from London, but today we've been blessed with blue skies, so it makes a nice change. All right, let's step up here. So this area at the moment, this area tends to be used by the owners for some alfresco dining. So if the tender's not on board, then you can use all of this deck space really quite easily, in terms of, you know, if you're up here enjoying a meal and you decide you want to go and jump in the water, you've got quick and ready access into the water if you want to. But yeah, this is a great space up here. You can just imagine some freestanding furniture, enjoying a meal with your friends and family. Fantastic place to come and relax. Obviously life raft over there on the port side, and over here on the starboard side is where we find the crane. And we do have a bimini here as well, so that can come over and give you some shade up here if you want to dodge the midday sun. In terms of launching and recovering the tender, as you can probably guess by the placement of the crane, launched and recovered either on the starboard side or off the stern. But yeah, plenty of space up here. And you can see as well those big windows that lead down into the saloon, which we will go and have a look at in just a second. But first, let me take you up onto the Flybridge. A couple of things that I immediately noticed, again, just how much space you've got up here. You Yeah, she's a really beamy boat. She's got a really wide beam, and you can really see that kind of manifesting up here in terms of just the amount of deck space that you've got. As we mentioned when we were on the bow, this radar mast is retractable, so it's hydraulically operated. And there you can see, look, the joint where it comes down. But that is a heavy duty radar mast. And again, you've probably noticed that this can provide some additional shade once that's opened up. So if you do want to get some more shaded areas on the upper deck, if you're lucky enough to be operating the boat where it's nice and warm and sunny, then you do get more shade up here as well. But if we look at the radar mast, obviously we've got the VHF antennas up there, another searchlight facing aft, CCTV camera up there, and we do have an orange light. Now, when I asked the owners about the orange light, they were a little bit confused, just like I was, in terms of why some boats do have orange lights in this country and why some don't. So if you do know, let us know in the comments. YouTube, do your thing. There's always somebody that knows something when it comes to stuff like that, so I'll be interested to read your comments. As we see, the helm station, the midships here, seating on the port side and over on the starboard side as well. Big ship's wheel there, look. Raymarine multi-function screen there. Controls for the hydraulic bow and stern thruster just there. And obviously the dials for the twin John Deere engines, VHF radio, and a little CD player up there as well, look. But yeah, what a fantastic view. So much space up here. And just the way it's been configured, I really like it. I love this kind of split level deck space. It just really opens up and gives the extra dimension of just how much you've got to work with when it comes to how you want to use the boat, you know, whether you're underway or whether you're at anchor. And like I say, plenty of shaded areas as well. Another CCTV camera just over there. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I think what we will do now, I'll just show you the view from up here. I'll recenter that gimbal again. That's the only thing with these Osmo pocket cameras. The gimbal never seems to center when you want it to. But anyway, let's go back down these steps and we will go into the interior spaces. And I think what I will do is I will start forward first in the guest accommodation, show you around there, and then I'll take you into the owner's cabin. We'll have a look around the saloon, obviously, show you around the helm station, and I'll finish in the engine room. But look, if we step through this door here, again, I'll have to show you just how heavy duty that door is. Decent threshold on there as well. But yeah, really, really impressive stuff. Right, so here we are in the interior. Now what I will do actually, before I go down into the accommodation, I'll just quickly give you a pan around just so you can see the living areas in here. I mean, I was blown away as soon as I came on board. I've been wanting to have a look around this boat for such a long time now, and I was seriously impressed. It kind of met all my expectations in terms of just how kind of heavy duty this boat is, you know, just how well engineered she is as well. And look, we've got the Altena Yachting builder's plate just down there. But I'm going to come back up and have a look at the helm station in a second. First, what I will do is take you into the forward cabin, the guest cabin. We'll have a look around here. And as you can see, we've got no fewer than 4 berths in here. So I'll shut that door. You see we've got a porthole over there on the starboard side, so you can open that up, get some ventilation in here. This is the hatch that we saw up on the bow. So you not only does it allow plenty of natural light in here, but you can open it up for some ventilation as well. Obviously at the moment the owners have got some of their stuff on here, but yeah, I really love the way this cabin is configured. The fact you can get 4 people in here, I'd quite happily fit my son and daughter in here, and they could bring a couple of their friends on as well. If I was lucky enough to own this boat, I'll just pop open one of these for you just so you can see some of the storage areas. I'm not going to open up all of the various cupboards and everything because, as I say, this is a private boat. She's not for sale. The owners have got their stuff on here, so I'm not going to start going through all the cupboards. But it just gives you an idea of just how much storage space you've got. And over here we have the controls for the heating on board, digital control there, climate control, obviously light switches there. Right, let's come back through this door and then spin around, and I'll shut that. Over here on the port side we have the head, really decent sized head in there. Another porthole just over there, big old mirrors, so I'll chop you off the standard Royal Navy salute as you were. That can be shut as well, so we do have some blinds on there. If I shut that door, and directly opposite on the starboard side is where we have the shower. So again, decent sized mirrors over there. Obviously you've got your sink with some more storage underneath. But yeah, really nice sized shower actually. If I just step in here, yeah, plenty of room to give yourself a good dobie or shower, as the civilians call it. I always still have the Navy, Royal Navy terminology in my mind. It's kind of ingrained in there from an early age, so do forgive the Navy terminology, I can't resist. Right, over here on the port side, a seating area, the table fixed down there. But if I just sit over here, it's a really great layout, because obviously up there and just on the other side is where we get access into the saloon, but over there on the starboard side we have the galley, and just through there it was almost like a mini kind of ship's office. I'll take you in there in just a second. But again, 2 portholes over there so they can be opened up, get some ventilation in here. It's a really well lit area as well, lots of indirect lighting and spotlights all around the boat. And you'll notice on the overhead, as we walk throughout this boat, we do have the grab rails as well. And I always say that's one of the sure signs when you know you're on a boat that is made for some serious passage making in all weather conditions, when you look around and you've got those grab rails on the overhead. Right, let's step up. I'll show you the U-shaped galley. Again, as I say, this is over here on the starboard side. 4-burner induction hob. Obviously stainless steel sink there. Some storage up there. And we have the fan as well. So when you're cooking up a nice meal for your guests, you're not going to be having all of the steam from your pasta filling up the boat. Goes straight up through the fan. I'll open up this just so you can see we've got a fridge. And over here, I'm guessing that is, yep, the dishwasher. And if you're wondering where the washing machine is located, well, follow me, we'll come down here. Now this is one of the areas that I absolutely love, one of the many areas I love on this boat. You know, being a digital nomad, I can pretty much work wherever I've got access to the internet, and this would be a fantastic place to work if you're, you know, running your business remotely. It really is a great study area. 2 portholes over there, but a very relaxing, well lit and comfortable area. Behind this door, let's pop that open. There we have the washer dryer. I'll shut that one back up, pop open this one for you. And we see we've got a fridge with some Heineken in there. Might have one of them later. Who knows? Although when I finish here, I do have a 3-hour drive up to my hotel, so maybe I won't. But anyway, this is the second guest cabin. As you can see, double cabin in here. Cabinetry over there. And controls for the climate control. Really good headroom in here. TV over on that bulkhead. Some hanging locker space just in there. But yeah, really nice space. Lots of headroom. Feels nice and bright and airy. And again, you really are feeling that full beam of the boat. The benefits of having such a beamy boat like this one. And they come back out into the study area. Recenter that gimbal again. But while we're here, look at this. What a fantastic model that is. Right, let's come back out here. I think what we'll do now is we'll come up here, spin around. I'm going to walk past the Helm station because I'm going to finish up there in a second. So we're going to head down into the saloon. I'll show you around here. Over here on the port side, L-shaped seating. And again, look at those massive windows. When I was talking to the owners when they were showing me around, apparently these are the largest size windows that you can get for a vessel of this class. So when this boat was built and designed, they really did factor in getting the biggest windows possible on there. And look, if you peer through that window, that's where we were a little bit earlier on when we were looking out to the crane and the aft section of the boat. Again, on the overhead, the grab rails up there, nice big TV over on that bulkhead, freestanding furniture over there on the starboard side. And if I just plonk myself here and bring the camera up to eye level, you get a really good appreciation for the views you get when you're sat in this area, thanks to those massive windows. And then look, you can just see up onto the helm position, so you can speak to the captain whilst you're underway. But yeah, very, very nice. And again, big old sturdy grab rails up there. Right, let's go down into the owner's cabin, which on this boat, as you probably guessed, is in the stern. And if you've watched any of my other videos, whenever I've been on a boat where the owner's cabin is in the stern, I always say one of the biggest benefits of having it aft is that you get less movement when you're underway. So being the owner, you benefit from the part of the boat that has the least amount of movement when you're underway. So you get a good night's sleep if you happen to be out in the rough and the choppy stuff. A window over there leads out onto the aft deck. Of course, that can be opened up. Another 2 portholes over there on the starboard side. Little vanity area just over here. So again, I guess you could get a seat on there if you wanted to, and if you wanted to set your laptop up there, you could do that quite easily. Again, I'm not going to start opening up all of these cupboards because this is a private boat, so I'm not going to start snooping around. You have to leave it to your imagination in terms of how much space you get behind those doors there, but there's lots of cabinetry in here, so lots of space. And over here, more switches for the lights. And again, look, another little vanity area over here on the port side as well. Again, lots of natural light coming in here, plenty of headroom. I've got probably about 3 or 4 inches, about that much, that's probably more actually. Yeah, probably about 4 inches above my head. And over here on the port side, we open this up, and here we have the ensuite. So toilet and shower just through here. Decent sized shower in there. Very, very nice. And again, another porthole over there on the port side. You can shut those curtains off if you need to. And behind here, sink with some more cabinetry underneath that. And another mirror. So I might as well chop you off another Royal Navy salute, as you were. Right, let's shut that door. Now, I think what I will do now is take you into the engine room, because access into the engine room is just through here. So if I shut that door, as you can see, that would close to hide the door, the entrance into the engine room. Let's open that up and I'll take you in here before going back up onto the helm. Oh, fantastic, the lights are on. And this is a really impressive engine room. You know, considering the age of the boat, is absolutely immaculate in here. I've been on boats that are only a few years old that you go in the engine room and you have to be careful what you touch in case you get covered with grease. But this engine room is immaculate. They've done a really good job. And I'll talk you through, obviously, what we've got in here. So, as you can see, twin John Deere engines. Got a water maker over there on the port side. This red unit here is the Cupola heating system. And just over there we have the compressor that leads up onto the upper deck. So you've got various kind of nozzle attachments up there that you can plug into the compressor. As I say, water maker over there. But look at these big, beautiful engines. They look almost new, to be honest with you. They really have been kept in fantastic condition. And behind that is where we find the generator. And I'll just pan over to the starboard side. You can see all the hydraulics over there. So she does have stabilisers fitted on board the boat as well. Those hydraulics feed the stabilisers as well as the rudders and the bow and the stern thruster as well, because they are hydraulic bow and stern thrusters. Manifolds over there. Give you a closer look at that beautiful John Deere engine. Now apparently the fantastic people at Altena Yachting, the amazing craftsmen and women that built this beautiful boat, they have a preference for John Deere engines, and you can see why, because anywhere you travel in the world, if you need spare parts, or if you need somebody that knows more about engines than you do, if you need to do any sort of work jobs on them, you're pretty much guaranteed to find somebody somewhere in most countries who knows how to work on John Deere engines. And they're really economical as well, which is another big bonus, especially when you're going to be doing that long range cruising. But yeah, really nice engine room, very impressive. If you are mechanically minded, as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Firefighting gear as well, so we've got fire extinguisher over there on the starboard bulkhead. But it always amazes me just how they cram so much gear into these spaces. You know, I'm always in awe whenever I go to shipyards. You know, if I'm lucky enough to go on board and have a look around a boat that's in the middle of being built, and I go down into the engine rooms, it just amazes me how they fit so much equipment down here. So I take my hat off to you if you work in these spaces and are able to get your way around everything. Battery bank over there on the port side. Right, let's spin around, head out the engine room, and come up these steps here, back into the owner's cabin, being careful not to bang my head on anything as I come out. I'll shut one of the dogs on there. So you imagine when you are underway and that is shut, you know, the noise ingress into the owner's cabin is going to be minimal, and that would just shut there. And it's great having access into the engine room as well via the internal section of the boat. So if you do have to go down there to do your running checks whilst you're underway, you don't have to venture outside if the weather is particularly bad. Okay, right, let's head back up onto the helm position. As you can see, big traditional ship's wheel there. I was quite impressed as well, Recaro seats. Now, back in the UK, Recaro are renowned for making sports seats that go in sports cars. So it was interesting seeing a Recaro seat. But look at the view you get. I'll bring the camera up to my eye line, and you can see once I've recentered that gimbal again, there we go. See just how good a view you get from the captain's position. VHF radio over there. We've got EPIRB. Very good location over there on the starboard side. Tiller control there. Throttle control levers for the twin engines. Big old Raymarine multi-function display over there on the right hand side. Another one over there on the left, currently showing the charts for the local area. You can see we're in a big marina here. VHF over here on the left hand side. Autopilot as well. Controls for John Deere engines. I did hear them fired up actually. The owner fired them up for me when just before I started filming. And yeah, the noise of those John Deere engines, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, very well laid out helm position. As you can see over there on the port side, we've got a good seat for the navigator as well, with their own little chart table if they want to use it for that. But yeah, another really nice comfortable seat over there. But look, you get lots of space if you still want to do your paper charts. You've got plenty of space there to set them out. Little TV monitor over there as well. But look at those forward raking windows, really, really nice. But I'm really looking forward to reading the comments. I really want to know what you guys think of this boat. As far as I'm aware, only 2 of these have been built. So this one, and I was on her sister ship actually, and if you go through my playlist, you'll see the video that I made for that one, so you can compare the two. And one of the first things you'll notice on this boat versus the sister ship is those forward raking windows. Nice big skylight there as well. But yeah, so there we have it. Dining area down there on the port side. Guest cabins up forward. galley over there on the starboard side with another guest cabin just behind there. And of course, if I come up, pan around, give you another look at the saloon, big spacious saloon, and then access into the owner's cabin through there. At a displacement cruising speed of around 8 knots, you're looking at a range between 3,000 and 4,000 nautical miles, depending of course on conditions, load and generator use. Top speed is around 10 knots. She's also fitted with a litres hydraulic stabiliser system, active fins, designed to reduce roll both underway and at anchor, which makes a big difference on longer passages. So I thought I'd finish this boat tour in one of my favourite places, the engine room. I've really enjoyed having a look around this boat, and it has been such an immense privilege to come on board and feature her. As far as I'm aware, this will be the first boat tour video of this boat on YouTube. So if you love trawler yachts, if you love explorer yachts, then please let me know what you think of this boat in the comments. And remember, if you are thinking about buying a boat, selling a boat, building a boat or chartering a boat, then feel free to reach out to me. Like I say, I've built a really good network over the years that I've been featuring boats like this, so I'm always happy to point you in the right direction and help you out where I can. A massive thank you to the owners for letting me come on board. I really do appreciate it. You know, they're a wonderful couple. I've really enjoyed spending the afternoon with them. Don't forget to give the video a like. Let me know what you think of this boat by dropping a comment down below. And also, if you've got access to a boat you'd like me to feature on my YouTube channel, then please feel free to get in contact with me. You can find my email address in the video description, but I'll put it on the screen as well. And don't forget also to subscribe to my free newsletter. I always like to write about what I'm doing in between filming, you know, where I'm going, what is going on in the wonderful world of explorer yachts. But yeah, it's been a real honour. I've now got a 3-hour drive. I'm going to be filming some boats in the northern part of the country tomorrow, so I'm going to head onto the road and try and find my hotel. But thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed having a look around. Until next time, fair winds and following seas. Once again, I'd like to say a massive thank you to my first channel sponsor, actually, and that is Maritronics, for sponsoring this video. All of these trips are self-funded, so sponsorship really helps. And if you're interested in sponsoring any of my videos or content, then feel free to get in contact with me. Make sure you check out Maritronics. I'll leave their link in the video description, but you can also scan this QR code as well. And I'd also like to say a massive thank you to my most recent channel members. I really do appreciate your support, and I am working on bringing you more members only content. So thanks for your support, and if you're interested in finding out more about becoming a channel member, head to the link in the video description.